And good Thursday morning. Welcome to episode 23 of the Inside Drive podcast. We've got a great one lined up for you today. My two favorite Jays in the world. We got better looking Jay and whatever we call you, Jay. Regular looking
Regular,
Jay.
yeah.
You got that nice Georgia hat on again, though. Hopefully you don't take a kneel down at the one and blow my parlay. That was absolutely brutal. I mean, I get why he did it because obviously they won the game, but don't you want to pour it on when you're playing your rival, right?
Yeah.
Score another touchdown. I think Keith was talking about it on Tuesday. There was a game many, many years ago where Spurrier got it to 60 or something like that.
Right.
So I just figured you want to pour it on when you go against your rival. But yes, we've got Jay Henley and Jay Chapman in studio with us today. We've got some great fun stories later on in the show. It's going to be a wild one, so make sure you hang on with us or tune in. We're only live on the Inside Drive Facebook page today. We're trying that out. I believe we're sharing it to my personal Facebook page as well, so make sure you tune in and watch. Of course, it'll always be posted on all the podcast channels and platforms tomorrow after the show is complete and edited and ready to rock and roll. Real quick, our sponsors, Golf Plus, who's doing a lot right now over there to their store. Another simulator was adding some new flooring, and they've got some big-time Christmas sales coming up, or I think it's called an early Black Friday sale. But attention golfers who want to improve their score, Golf Plus is the place to be in Bay County with the tools and expertise to help you. Golf Plus has been featured in Golf and Golf Digest magazine as the top club fitters in the country, and they certainly deserve it. Their fitting studio will blow you away with the selection of brands and models of clubs and shafts. The putting green is filled with the latest and greatest brands you could possibly want. And the repair shop is second to none. I know I saw Alan on TikTok. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. I think they had 5 custom builds going on. So if you're looking for a new set of clubs, they can get you set up, fitted, and get that set of clubs to you built custom. They can do custom ferrules, custom paint fill, whatever it may be. You can make those clubs yours in so many different ways. The renovations are ongoing, like I just said, including a second sim, and then gear up for the holiday sales for the golfer in your family. Right now, they're doing, if you want to get your kid some new junior clubs for Christmas, whatever it may be, they're doing 25% off all in-stock junior clubs right now. I still think they're doing the 20% off all in-stock shoes as well. And then, of course, they are located over there in the shops at Edgewater. You can give them a call at 850-249-2726 or visit them online at golfplusretail.com. And then, of course, my favorite credit union in Bay County and beyond, Panhandle Credit Union. The quality relationships they have with our community is what Panhandle Credit Union is all about. Whether it's sponsoring an event, donating to a cause, providing loan options, or setting people up with great banking products, Panhandle Credit Union is here to serve those who live, work, worship, or attend school in Bay and other surrounding counties. Together, Panhandle Credit Union builds community. Visit panhandlecu.org or swing by any location to join. Get to the Jays in the house today. Jay Henley.
Yes.
You got any fun packages going on right now? Christmas is right around the corner. I know Golf Plus has got a lot of sales going on. You got any cool things coming up for people to buy for? Maybe this is an opportunity to get some stuff going.
Could be. Yeah, it could be. I'm going to eventually be moving into some Sportsbox 3D golf lessons. So that'll be something interesting to
I'll have to look that up and find out what that's all
yeah,
about.
Yeah, it's going to be good. But yeah, other than that, golfwithjay.com. Working on a new app too, by the way. So we'll see how that.
Golf with Jay app.
An app. Yeah, we're moving along.
You're moving really into the 21st. Is it the 21st century right now?
And I can say on the Google Play or Apple Store.
Nice.
I used to say that, right?
You
That's about the
did.
only thing I said.
You did good with it, though.
Yeah.
You did good with it, yeah. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Been busy out there on the lesson tee?
Yeah, sunshine's. Weather's been good, and
has been
it's been
nice.
great. So
I know we got a serious cold front coming in Monday and Tuesday. May have to bring some plants in for that one. I believe it's supposed to get down maybe into the upper 20s and also be windy.
Yeah.
Probably be a tough couple of days for lessons out there.
it will.
And of course, Jay Chapman, your local investment guru. How are things going with your business? Tell everybody also, where they can find you and what you do, all that good stuff.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes,
Chapman
sir.
Wealth
Appreciate you coming in.
Of course. Chapman Wealth Management. We're located right off of Jinx. We help people navigate volatility. It's pretty, timely right now. There's been a little bit of volatility in markets. And if you're uncomfortable with how to navigate volatility or what that means for you and your portfolio or how to move forward in an intelligent fashion, just give us a call and then we're here to help.
There you go. Jay, how's your portfolio looking?
Yeah, triple levered ETFs on Nvidia are like killing
Slim-
him right now.
Yep.
Slim to none, and Slim left town.
Maybe you need to go visit with
That's right,
Jay
man.
Chapman.
Hey,
Get you moving in the right direction.
Absolutely.
I do want to mention our American Charlie's Athlete of the Week. This week, it's the Bay High quarterback, Zay Morgan, with his performance last week against Bozeman, their final regular season game. He moved over 2,000 passing yards. I'm going to go over that real quick. JP Holzenbach, the Mosley quarterback, is at 2,283 with a passer rating of 135. And then our American Charlie's Athlete of the Week, Zabion Morgan, he has 2,182 passing yards and 135 passer rating. Third on the list is JD Brown from South Walton. He's got 2,088 and a 99 passer rating. And then it kind of goes down from there for all the people under 2,000 passing yards. But pretty impressive stuff there by the 9-1 Bay High Tornadoes. Mosley's also 9-1. Mosley will play their playoff game, their first round playoff game, on Thursday of next week at Tommy Oliver Stadium. Opponents TBD because they still have some games down south that have to finish this weekend, and that'll probably shake up the opponents just a little bit more. Want to talk about the tackle leaders as well. We got two Arnold Marlins that are leading the area with tackles. That's Charlie Cotter with 109 tackles and Dalen Davis with 108 tackles, followed by Bowen Iorg, or Iorg, I-O-R-G. He has 107 tackles. I believe that's from Pensacola High. It's a blue P with some stars in it, so I'm going to go with Pensacola. I'm probably wrong in that. And then Aiden Spratt, he's got 106 tackles. That looks like a Panther logo or something along those lines. So congratulations to those guys. Great season for everyone. And then last but not least, got some interception leaders. WF, which I believe is West Florida. Christopher Oliver has 6 interceptions. And then from Arnold High, Darren Elder, who's a former American Charlie's Athlete of the Week. He plays both wide receiver and cornerback. He's got 5 interceptions on the season. Ezekiel Burgess, it's a pirate flag. You can maybe look up what high school that is. He's got 4. And then Royson Jones has also got 4. And then it looks like Choctaw Indians, Tristan Powell also has 4. So just wanted to recognize those young men that have had a fantastic season. Again, one more time, congratulations to Zabion Morgan being our American Charlie's Athlete of the Week. As y'all know, American Charlie is located in the Edgewater Shopping Plaza, right next to Rocket Lanes and Firefly. Great daily specials. One of the things I love is they got military and first responder discounts every day. Lunch, dinner, if they've got live music going on, there's always first responder and military discounts. They've got 15 TVs set up for college and NFL games. Hopefully they don't have YouTube TV, because otherwise that'd be tough. Just make the move to the ESPN app or whatever is easier for you to do. They've also got private rooms that you can request, if you want to have a little private party in there. American Charlie's can make that happen. Visit them at americancharlies.com or check them out on Facebook. Just search up American Charlie's. So congratulations again to Zay Morgan, and of course, good luck to the Bay Tornadoes, the Bozeman Bucks, and the Mosley Dolphins, as this is the first time in Bay County history that we've had 3 district champion teams that are hosting a first round playoff game right here in Bay County. Once I know the opponents, and I don't know when Bozeman's playing it, once we learn all that, we'll definitely, include that on our Facebook page, and of course include it on our shows as well. I want to talk to you guys. Obviously, big baseball guy, and you're a big baseball fan too, Jay.
Yeah.
Jay Henley.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of the World Series? Jay, did you watch any of it?
I did. I watched Game 6, but I didn't watch Game 7. Which,
Well, you missed out then, because
I know.
Game 7 was way more awesome. Yeah, why'd you watch 6 and
I
not 7?
don't know.
That's
Who
who
watches
knows.
Game 6 and then doesn't watch?
That's some it was the next night too.
Well, it's the winner take
You were
all,
out
man.
partying,
You got, I
weren't you?
mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Winner take all, man. Those are the games I'm gonna sit down for pretty much,
Yep.
whether it be Super Bowl, NBA, or whatever. But I maybe had some. It was maybe one of the best baseball games I've ever seen.
Would you put this World Series up against, any other World Series? I mean, obviously in the 20s and the 30s, we really didn't know what was going on, so there could have been some unbelievable series then too. But one of the best that you can remember watching, obviously Game 7 was unreal, but
Yeah.
the whole series was fantastic.
It was, yeah. For me, it is. Like I said, in my lifetime with the World Series that I've been able to watch, or kind of even be, in organizations that were in them at some level. Yeah, it was unbelievable, man. And like really the Will Smith homer and the Rojas homer. But I'm telling you right now, the pressure-packed Rojas infield pick throw to home, that may be one of the most pressure-filled, amazing plays that I've seen. He's 1 inch away from losing the World Series.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
Literally.
Like literally.
Yeah.
And Will Smith's foot came off the plate just a hair and went right by us.
See, I think he got a lot of people think that it was off when the slide came in, but I thought he got it.
No, he got it right
he
back
got
down.
It back down right before
I
the
thought so,
foot came
too.
in there. I think that was the right call for sure. But yeah, that play was really fantastic, and especially the guy that hit the home run too.
Yeah, Rojas. Yep, to take to tie the game. I mean, it was just. it was just
It had,
incredible.
I was watching the game, and you're like, "That was so crazy," and then something else would
next one.
happen. You'd be like, "That's even crazier."
Yeah,
and it
but-
just kept going.
Both teams had bases loaded several times
Yep.
and couldn't score.
The Blue Jays had a lot of opportunities to win that World Series, and like you said, they were maybe a foot away from winning that. If that throw is just slightly off, game over right there, and then we don't get the extras and all that stuff.
And Will Smith's been in the World Series, what, 5 times? in
Six
a row?
straight World Series
Yeah.
rings. I believe 3 with the Dodgers, 1 with the Astros, 1 with the Braves. But this one, he obviously had a massive impact in it. I'm sure he had a good impact in all the other ones too. But
But not the same Will
Yeah, they're not
Smith.
the same Will Smith.
They're not the same.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I hate
yeah.
to bust that
No,
ball.
yeah, yeah.
Will
Really?
Smith, though,
There was a
you know,
pitcher.
Will Smith is a left-handed pitcher with the Gulf Coast Community College.
oh, really?
Did you know that?
No,
Yes. Like our home Gulf Coast.
right here.
2 for the Astros and the Braves.
Wow,
Yep.
that's crazy.
Yeah, he was with the.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
he was
really cool.
long major league career, right out of Gulf Coast. Anyways, okay.
That's awesome. But yeah, so I mean, obviously Will Smith hit the game-winning home run.
Yep.
So, and I know he's a catcher, so he's impacted probably all the other games too. But he seemed to have a little bit more of an impact, obviously, in this one, hitting the game-winning, not the walk-off, but the game-winning home run. So, obviously a fantastic World Series. Wanted to mention the Chipley Lady Tigers as well. They competed in the state final in the rural state championship.
Rural.
Yeah, that's it's like oral, right?
That's a tough one there. Right?
Rural.
Well, I've been southernized too much
I
now.
know.
I can't
I
break
like
it up
it.
into two siblings two. What's the word I'm looking for?
Syllable.
Syllables.
Syllables.
Two syllables. Rural. Now it's just rural. You don't
Rural.
move. You don't move your lips. You just say it.
Yes,
It's
sir.
like what oil too, right? Say oil, Jay.
Oil.
Oil.
Oil. You can't put your
Oil.
lips together. You
Yeah,
got oil.
that's how you learn to be a southerner. Just talk with your lips open. It's good stuff. But congratulations to them. They ended up losing in 5 sets to Bradford in the final. But a great season for the Chipley Lady Tigers on the volleyball court. Just making it to the state final is a huge accomplishment. And it went to 5 sets. It was really close. I think they won the first set, dropped the second set, won the third set, dropped the fourth set, and then I believe lost like 15-9 in that final 5th set, which is a lot of pressure when you're in that 5th set because the game only goes to 15. That ends very, very quickly. Gentlemen, it's a loose term for sure.
Yes.
Liv moving to 72 holes. What do you think about that?
Didn't have any idea. I mean, like what?
Way to stay in tune with the golfing
Yeah,
world.
no kidding.
Being a
72 holes.
yeah, so they're moving to the full tournament now. So do you think they're going to get world golf ranking points and all that? Because that was always the
Yes.
big hang up, right?
That's
Is they're
kinda
not
my
playing
thought.
a
Yeah.
they're not playing a full 72 hole tournament, but now they are. We'll see how that shakes out on the world ranking sides and all that. Jay, kind of from on the outside looking in, what do you think about Liv trying to be more like a regular PGA Tour event?
Well, it kind of seems scripted, at least a little bit. There was an initial market penetration tactic with buying all the players, and then now they're kind of trying to become more, I guess, widely acceptable.
When they were losing so much money as well, I think they've lost like $10 billion or something like that since their inception. But it's all that all that Saudi money, as everybody loves to talk about. But yeah, like you just said, I think they're trying to move more to be more. I mean, and they might have had some things from the guys saying like, we're tired of not being able to qualify for majors because of the world golf rankings and all that. So maybe the players kind of influenced that as well. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but I could see them doing that. John Rahm being ranked 80th in the official world golf rankings. Something's wrong with that. He's obviously not the 80th ranked player in the world based on, his ability, in my opinion anyway. So we'll see if that opens up another path for guys to play in majors. Now, I know a lot of the guys that have qualified for majors before, a lot of them, if they finish in the top, certain top 10, top 5, whatever it may be, they get invited back one way or the other. But I thought that was an interesting move there by Liv. They've also been kind of doing some different things with the teams because each team can like relegate somebody and they can become like a free agent. So it is certainly interesting when you start to peel back the onion on what actually happens on the Liv Tour. Most booze sold by universities. I believe this is at the football games themselves, not like the entire university, because that I think we could probably figure out what some of those would be. But I would be shocked if you guys get who's number 1 on this particular list. Number 1 and 2. All right, give it a shot.
I'm going to say, I've already said mine off air, which was on the list but wrong. So now I'm going to revise. So if I get it right, it's like a second go at it. I'm going to say Michigan.
Michigan is on the list, on this particular list anyway, with 985,220 or 266. Number 1, it is a Big Ten school. It's
BYU.
It's a
No,
Big Ten school, Jay. BYU's in the Big 12.
it's got to have some correlation to the size of the stadium, I would think, right?
That was-
It's Ohio State. Is that?
No, but that's a good educated guess, though, by saying the size of the stadium. Big Ten, not a powerhouse in the Big Ten. They're famous for a fourth quarter song before it starts. It's not Florida, obviously, because they're not in the Big Ten. They have a really good men's and women's hockey team.
Okay, it doesn't give me
No.
any.
All right.
Gives me nothing. Yeah.
No help.
Their mascot is an extremely feisty, dangerous thing. Again, that would lead towards Michigan again, but it's not Michigan.
Okay. Golly.
All right, I'll give you the song. Maybe that'll trigger something
Yes.
for y'all. Jump Around.
Oh, that's Wisconsin.
Yes, the-
Yes.
Wisconsin
Let's go.
Badgers
Yeah.
with 3,088,600.
But we should have known that Wisconsin, the beer flows like water. I mean,
It
That's right.
does.
Yeah.
That's
It
right.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it, the colder states too. I don't know
Yeah.
if there's any correlation with that, but yeah, there's a lot of beer drinking in Wisconsin. That's for sure. And the next one on the list, another Big Ten. I think they're in the Big Ten, maybe the Big 12. But they don't really have any kind of hints I can give you, other than this is, if I give you this hint, you're going to get it immediately. The state that the College World Series is in.
Omaha. So Nebraska. Yeah.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah,
Nebraska second with 2,074,806. Number 3 on the list is the next two are SEC schools. No surprise, baseball powerhouses as well, or college baseball powerhouses as well. Number 3 on the list with 1,623,728 in booze sales. These are just public schools too, by the way. The Tennessee Volunteers.
That was my first guess.
Yep. But it was good. I mean, it's third at the top, so that was a great guess.
But they have 110.
Massive stadium.
Yeah,
Yep, for sure. Well, Rocky Top.
And I was
Washington.
thinking, I was away from Wisconsin, but a cold beer on a hot day, in Tennessee. I was
Yep.
thinking that's got to be a good guess. But
All right, next university. Very typical for buying a lot of the Rocco's Jello shots during the College World Series. Tennessee's big on that list too. But this team, when they make the College World Series, always seems to dominate that Jello shot contest.
Not Baylor.
Definitely not Baylor.
No.
that'd be in the SEC, right?
It is in the
We've
SEC.
talked about
yeah.
this before.
Yeah, you should get this.
Yeah.
It's not Georgia.
It's not Georgia. Not Georgia.
Texas A&M.
No.
Yeah,
The College World Series in baseball? They're
Yes.
a good baseball school?
LSU.
Bingo.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
think
very
about that.
nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
yeah.
I'm gonna give you a round of applause
Thank
for that
you.
one. You
Thank
usually
you.
don't get
Thanks.
this stuff right, so I'm proud of you for getting that
Yeah,
right.
that was a good
yes,
guess.
LSU 1,446,698.
So how I figured that out, I remember the Cajuns drink a lot,
That they
and
do.
that was word association.
And they've
for
had
me.
a great baseball team. As
They
of late.
have.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there you go.
They have.
Also, we eliminated like 6 SEC schools.
Yeah.
Prior to
True. We're kind of getting
No,
down to
I don't
one.
want to take yours.
Thanks a
yours prior.
lot.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
That was a great deal.
Jay.
All right, I'm just going to go through the rest of these. Minnesota at 1.038 million, Michigan at 985,000, Indiana at 983,000, West Virginia, to no surprise, 979,000, and then Kentucky at 898,000. Last but not least, another Big Ten school, Illinois at 743,609. I guess these are the averages since, because it's only been a couple years since you were legally allowed to drink on, at college stadiums and campuses and all that stuff. So I want to say congratulations, but Wisconsin leads the nation in booze drank at the stadium. So I thought that was a fun little exercise, and I thought you guys did both did a great job with that. Another little fun fact from last night, another hockey fun fact, Alex Ovechkin, who broke Wayne Gretzky's record of goals scored last year, also scored his 900th goal. Obviously, he's the record leader, but now he's obviously the first person ever to score 900 goals in the NHL, in the history of the NHL. Scored his 900th goal, and the goalie for the other team, I forget which team it was, tried to hide the puck from Ovechkin getting, that, because in sports, usually when you have some kind of milestone, you either get the puck, the basketball, the baseball, the football, whatever it is, and then obviously you get to keep it in your stuff because it's such a great feat. Kind of thought it was wild there from the goalie to try to hide the puck. Eventually the ref got him to, he had put it down in his big, goalies wear these massive leg pads, not leg, well, they wear massive leg pads too, but they call it, it's like a girdle. The regular players wear it too, but the goalie's one is just huge and it's got like Kevlar steel pads and stuff in there. He put it down in there, and the ref went over to him and eventually got him to give it back. So that was, I just thought, kind of a wild move there by that goalie to try to do that.
It wasn't like a joke.
It might have been a joke. It might have not been. It's kind of hard to
He
tell.
went pretty hard on the joke. If that's
He was all in
he was
on
really
the joke.
trying to hide it.
Yeah, the ref had to get it from him.
Jeez.
Is that a Russian name, Ovechkin?
It is a Russian name, very Russian name. He plays on the Russian national team, and we've got the winter Olympics coming up. In the winter this next season. I can't wait for that. International hockey is just, regular hockey for me is so much fun to watch too, but international hockey is just on a whole nother level when it comes to the competitiveness. When you're playing for your nation, it's just a little bit different ball game. I'm gonna ask you guys your opinion on the best head coaching opening right now. In the Power Four conference, you have Auburn, Florida, LSU, Penn State, Stanford, UCLA, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma State, and Arkansas, and some other notable openings that are not necessarily in the Power Fours. You got Oregon State, and then obviously Trent Dilfer got fired from University of Alabama, Birmingham, the Blazers, UAB. What's y'all's opinion that's the best head coaching opening? Like if you were a head coach, you had no bias to any of these schools, which one would you be looking to take? So, in your opinion, what's the best opening right now? Put a little poll on our Facebook page.
Give us those. Can you give us those lists one more time?
It's going to be probably a interesting take here, but I don't know. Does Louisiana have state tax?
It's a good question.
I would definitely pick Florida for that purpose, right? And then also I would probably just like Gainesville, but I think it's probably a toss-up between LSU and Florida. I don't know how you could. I know Penn State, Auburn, but LSU is always going to have the resource to be right in it. Yeah, the recruiting landscape there is fantastic, and the same can be said for Florida.
Absolutely,
you don't have to go out of your backyard to get North Florida and Miami.
You got some good pipelines for sure. But I agree with you. I think somebody on Tuesday, I don't forget, it might have been Keith, it might have been Dan actually that mentioned LSU. They've got such a great recruiting ground with all the East Texas part. Obviously, their own state is great to recruit from. Mississippi, all those states right around them. But I think LSU, according to the poll I put out on our Facebook story a couple of days ago, or I think it was on Tuesday, it was overwhelmingly LSU. So I think that's the the common theme. They've won 3 national championships in like the last 10 years. And they've got the pedigree, the recruiting, the money, which is so necessary right now. Yeah, I think that's certainly one of the best job openings. My only concern with some of these other schools, like especially Auburn, I thought, in my opinion, that they should have waited till next year. Now, this was before they only scored 3 points against Kentucky.
Tough.
You had no choice but to get rid of them. 10-3 loss to Kentucky is, anybody probably would have been fired at that point. But I think Auburn's just going to struggle to find a good head coaching replacement because you've got
other openings.
Florida, LSU, Penn State. Even UCLA, Oklahoma State are good job openings as well. So it's going to be interesting to see where people go and how much money they're getting paid. Do you think Lane's going to go to any of these schools?
No. The question I was just about to ask you: what would be the net benefit?
I don't see
leaving Ole Miss. He's established a great program. He's getting paid $10 million a year.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that there's a contract extension on his desk just waiting to sign because all these other schools are coming with these big offers. I don't think there's any benefit for him to leave. Like you just said, he's developed a great program there at Ole Miss. And he's
like a perennial top 10 school now. Like
his family is established there now too. So you'd have to, obviously that's one of the tough things with head coaches or even coordinators is you have to uproot your family over and over and over again. Does he have a better chance winning a national championship at an LSU or Florida? In my opinion, I don't think so. I think he's got just as good a shot at staying at Ole Miss and winning a national championship than trying to go that's why I think this is so tough. Like, who's going to end up being the coaches at these schools? Because you've got, your pick of the litter. And, is James Franklin going to end up going to one of these schools? It's going to be interesting to see how it all shapes out, once they start filling these things. And I don't think we're done with coaches being fired yet either. I mean, you still got some other guys on the hot seat. Obviously, depending on how Mike Norvell finishes the season, I know they got a good win over Wake Forest, but still got a lot to get through. Still got to play Florida at the end of the season. And, is Dabo Sweeney safe at Clemson? I think they've had 4 losses this year so far, and that's just not Clemson, not Dabo. And I think he would be a great option for an Auburn or something like that. So, again, it'll be interesting to see how everything shakes out. But I agree with you guys. I think LSU is definitely the best opportunity if someone was to make a move. And again, we'll see how it all goes.
But something's got to give with all this, and I know like nobody ever wants to talk about it. It seems, but this whole college football.
Talk about it, Jay.
Yeah, the college football coaching and like losing and getting paid all this money, it makes no sense.
Well, there's like a precedent
zero.
set, though, but like the golden hand, you're sitting here going, well, this school's doing it and offering these, from a competitive standpoint. I totally agree with you. Like, you should not get paid $90 million to leave or whatever that is.
That's crazy.
But, like I said, they're having to do this to incentivize these coaches to not go elsewhere. So it becomes like who does what. But one of the things I'm interested in is because it's like seemingly so much more parity, like in college football now. Like, if you look at the power rankings, like I think anybody outside of Ohio State, so like 2 through, I want to say 20, but it might be 15, like on neutral site are all like, the line I think is like 6.5. There's a touchdown difference between and so like that's to your point of like, can you win at LSU or Florida? I'm like, I don't understand why you couldn't. There's like a narrative out there that's like you can't win at Ole Miss. You need to be at Florida or LSU, and I just don't know that that's the case anymore. I think it may have been the case.
Yeah,
but
I
this
agree.
year,
That's a past thing.
yes, like the parity is like. I mean, it's
Ole Miss
striking.
was a quarter away from beating Georgia. I mean, obviously that's if and buts, candies and nuts, but I mean they've been and they've had some great wins this season as well. And they had some great wins last year, and he continues to get some high profile quarterbacks and players and all that stuff. So again, like you said, what's the difference being the head coach at Ole Miss or being the head coach at Florida? And obviously Florida has national championships. They have a little bit bigger pedigree. But in this day and age, does that pedigree matter when you're able to pay kids to come play at your school? I think the pedigree stuff might have mattered, 15, 20 years ago. Not as much now as it used to be.
The revenue streams are so much different. Take, for instance, Alabama, like wins over Missouri and Vandy, like basically one score wins. And Tennessee looked a little bit bigger than it was because there was like the interception.
Yeah.
Right? But it could have been a one. Like they're all like really. I just don't know why you would uproot yourself if you were Lane.
Yeah, it's got a good thing going on for
it
sure.
doesn't make sense to me. But there's a huge narrative out there that Florida, you should go to Florida. I mean, that's.
I think the initial offer was like $13.5 million a year or something like that.
Well,
I mean, again, if it's all about money, then I guess you could go to where you're going to get paid the most money. But
that's true.
The buyout factor is, I think, got to start weighing into some of these schools, like you were saying. Like, maybe the buyout has to be reduced. Again, you got to have some incentive to get the coach to leave where they are and go there, unless they're one of these fired coaches. Real quick, the rankings came out after our Tuesday show. These are the first college football playoff rankings of the year. I put together my rankings, and I was a little bit close. I was kind of surprised. I flip-flopped Georgia and Alabama, and then at the top I kind of had a little bit different. But obviously Ohio State, number 1, probably one of the bigger shockers so far this year. Indiana being number 2. Obviously they had a great year last year as well, but everybody's like, well, they didn't really kind of play as much competition. Their strength of schedule a lot better this year. The Indiana Hoosiers strength of schedule is 39th in the country. So that's a good reason why they're sitting there at number 2 in the college football playoff rankings. I had them and Texas A&M switched as well. Texas A&M 8-0 in the SEC, trying to win an SEC championship. They got some tougher games to finish the season, but it'll shake itself out. Alabama number 4, so your top 4: Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Alabama. Georgia at number 5. Obviously, Alabama beat Georgia. Alabama's one loss is to Florida State, which isn't a great loss based on how Florida State kind of shook out the rest of the season. Like you said, Ole Miss sitting there at 8-1, number 8 in the rankings. Jay's BYU Cougars 8-0. They got a big matchup this weekend against the Texas Tech Red Raiders. That's basically to take first place over in the Big 12. The Oregon Ducks sitting there at number 10. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish at 6-2. I think they lost to Miami and one other at the time top 10 school. So it's the how are you throughout the season, and then where do you sit right now? So there's a lot of factors that these the College Football Playoff Committee has to go through. That's tough, especially Notre Dame not being in a conference. They won't have a conference championship either. But Notre Dame always kind of seems to slide its way into something. I guess that they've just got a big TV audience when it comes to Notre Dame. A lot of Notre Dame fans out there. First two out, the new SEC, the newcomers for the SEC as of last year, Texas and Oklahoma, both sitting there at 7-2. Obviously, this is just the first college football playoff rankings. It's going to change week in and week out, and we got some big games coming up that are going to determine, how this continues to shake out throughout the rest of the season. Any names on there, guys, that you're surprised didn't make that top 12?
Did you say Miami?
No, I said Notre Dame beat Miami. Yeah, Miami is not in the
Man,
top 12.
they fell off hard.
They've had some bad losses recently. Yeah, they're at number 18. Yeah, they're 6-2. I know one of their losses was a couple weeks ago. I forget who it was against. But yeah,
South Carolina, I mean, I don't know. I had big hopes for them this season.
A lot of close games, man. A lot of them really difficult.
And Lenore
schedule.
Sellers kind of got hurt in the beginning of the
that's
season,
true. He's
and
an
he just doesn't really seem to have gotten back to how he was playing last year. So yeah, South Carolina certainly they are not in the top 25. SEC's got a bunch of schools. Obviously, Vandy hanging out there at number 18. Couple of tough losses to some really good opponents recently. Obviously,
Somebody said they lowered the academic.
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
No, I heard that's for
Jay
real
in
though.
general.
I heard that's for real though. They lowered the academics. That's why Vanderbilt's football
Able to
team-
get.
What are you-
so
what
what
are
are
you
you trying to
impl-
say?
what are you
Good football
implying
players
there,
aren't
Jay?
smart. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly how it came out. Jay said that, not us.
Hey, listen,
Jay
man.
Henley, not Jay Chapman.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave you with that one.
yeah, I mean, just
No, but they have a lot of resources, a lot of tutors. I think each one of those players gets like a personal financial. I'm sorry, a academic
probably
assistant.
a financial assistant.
Both,
too.
yeah, but they get
Probably a lot of
yeah.
colleges do that for
Yeah,
their,
I'm
for
sure.
their athletes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like back in the day with the U where they would just, yep, you're good.
Yeah, give you an A, move on.
Keep
yeah.
on going. That's
Yeah.
probably
Yes.
the case at a lot of places that back in that time though.
Oh yeah.
I did say it. Good athletes have lower SAT scores. I said it.
Probably true. I mean, that's
So
probably
the athletes that came out of Griffin then must be absolutely spectacular.
Oh, dude, they're phenomenal. They're amazing. Amazing.
Oh, Griffin High class of 98.
98
There you go.
Yeah.
Lowest SAT scores in
best athletes
country.
ever.
in the country.
But they produce because of the correlation, SAT scores and athletic ability. Once you hit that break-even point, that's your peak athletes. Now, you all have had some real athletes that have come out of Griffin, right?
Oh yeah, we talked about it
Yep.
a couple years ago. I mean, there's some crazy athletes. Yeah, I mean, not off the top of my tongue, I can't really really tell you.
Well, that doesn't-
Walma Tyus, I think, was an Olympic athlete. And then,
Wow.
Darren Hancock, who played at UNC, and then played at Charlotte, played at Hornets, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, there's plenty of them. Yeah.
What was your best? When you were there, what was the best sport for Griffin High?
Football and soccer.
Soccer.
Yeah.
Well, South Georgia soccer action.
Yeah.
I like it. As I mentioned, some of the big games coming up this week. BYU, Texas Tech, certainly one of the bigger ones coming up. A lot of implications with that game, not only in the college football playoff, but also just in the Big 12 championship game race. Auburn will get smoked by Vanderbilt this weekend. Got any worries about Mississippi State? A little bit of a trap game there got for you guys. Maybe coming off the big win over Florida in the world's largest cocktail party.
Yeah.
Spread's 9.5.
Oof. No, it could be. I don't know.
I mean, Mississippi State's not great, but they played some good teams tough this year so far. Yeah, BYU, Texas Tech. Texas Tech is a 10.5-point favorite at home. Bookies don't like BYU in that one. That is for sure. And you've got Texas A&M and Missouri. Could be a trap game there for Texas A&M. It's on the road in Columbia, Missouri. Texas A&M's only a 6.5-point favorite in that one. Another Big Ten game, you got the Ducks versus the Hawkeyes. Oregon is a 6.5-point favorite on the road. Again, these are just top 25 matchups. Wake Forest and Virginia. Virginia's vying for that ACC championship, currently number 14 in the college football playoff rankings. Wake Forest could knock their chances down. I mean, Wake Forest doesn't have a bad football team. Another one of those schools, Jay, that, like you said, probably lowered their academic requirements.
Yeah. Did they beat Georgia Tech? Did Wake Forest beat Georgia Tech? Somebody beat Georgia Tech.
beat Georgia Tech. I forget
can't
who it
remember.
was, yeah.
But
The Rambling Wreck.
I feel like
We
Wake.
got Bama at LSU too, and I actually maybe it's just the kind of the contrarian nature. I'm trying to psych myself out. I get a little leery of these interim coaches with schools that have a lot of talent
Yeah.
because sometimes they're like reinvigorated or they're like if the
It's
coach
a little
was toxic.
spark that they need
Yeah.
to change. Yeah.
Honestly, I think a lot of these big name coaches are very control freaks, and then you free your kids up
That's one-
whenever an interim comes. I'm telling you.
I'm like
telling
been
you.
nervous about it with LSU
Yeah.
because I'm like, man, they got a bye week, I believe, and kind of get whoever's in there to get some sort of scheme in place, and then like you said, reinvigorated
Yep.
players and wanting to beat Bama and salvage their year. That's
It's like the Gators versus Georgia. I mean, that should have been a blowout, but hey,
That's right.
new interim coach.
Well, if they would have scored on that last play, it would have
Yeah.
been a bigger spread in the stuff.
Yeah.
That's one of the all-time bad beats out there, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I completely understand why he did it, because then they had no timeouts. All he had to do was take a couple more knees, and the game was over. Let's see who I wanted to figure out who Georgia Tech lost to last week. NC State, kind of a surprising one there, 48-36. That's kind of like gets back to the LSU Alabama. That's a similar type game where it's one of those games you expect to win on paper, and maybe you go in there. That's the curse of a lot of teams. Maybe you go in there a little overconfident, thinking it's going to be an easy win, and then that team's going to give you their best they possibly have. So you had a couple of those upsets last week for sure. Is it in LSU or is it in Tuscaloosa?
gets at Bama, which
Gets
is
at Bama.
probably the only another thing kind of going for Bama there. But like I said, LSU is always a crazy amount of talent, and they play. The Bama game has become as big of a rivalry as pretty much anybody else on their schedule, really.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama's a 9.5-point favorite in
Oh,
that
wow.
one at the house, but the total is only 49.5. So they're thinking Alabama's going to probably shut down LSU's offense. But again, they've got the talent to compete with any team in the country. It's just,
Dude, I think coming in, Nussberger was supposed to be like the number one rated
I
quarterback.
think he was the Heisman favorite to start the
Yeah.
season.
So, like, I mean, that's still in there somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you
Oh,
said,
yeah. He hasn't. I mean, it's not like he just all of a sudden became a bad quarterback, but, their defense has kind of been their weakness so far this year. And Simpson, I think, in my opinion, is probably, leading the country now in the Heisman race, simply because he's only thrown one pick to 20 touchdowns.
wow.
He's had a fantastic season. One interception in however many games they've played. 8 games they played? He's only thrown one pick.
Yeah.
That's pretty dang impressive in my opinion. And then you got the annual Navy Notre Dame game. Although Notre Dame is favored by 25.5, Navy always plays them really tough. Navy and those military schools are always kind of sneaky to get some dubs. All right, Jay, why don't you start us off with your crazy story? Because you actually brought one to the table today,
Gracious.
which I was excited about. You probably don't have it teed up though, I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, I do. I've been waiting on this one.
It's kind of right up your alley.
Oh boy. Chimps are sticking grass and sticks in their butts, seemingly as a fashion trend.
What are you looking up on the internet?
Credit
this-
credit to somebody on Facebook. One of my friends posted it on Facebook, and I'm like, whoa, this is interesting for today. So I was like, wow,
Yeah.
all right, this is great. The new phenomenon appears to be a fresh spin on an old fad of wearing grass in the ear. So the grass started in the ear with the chimpanzees.
The progression is
I
next.
can't wait. We're getting like a chronological like fashion of the apes. Go ahead.
We went from
Fashion of
orifice
the
to
apes, I like
orifices,
that. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. But this all happened in Zambia. Is it Zambia or Zambia? Zambia. It's a
I think
wildlife.
it's like Zambia.
Zambia. Yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds like Coming to America, like wherever Zimbabwe, wherever they're from. I can't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's putting a lot of pressure on me to remember where
Yeah.
it came from and Coming to America.
But
Great movie, by the way.
15 years after a female chimpanzee named Julie first stuck a blade
Julie.
of grass
What a-
into her
what a
ear.
generic,
Who is naming these things,
Oh,
man?
Jules.
Julie. There's Fred.
Jeez.
Such a simple name.
She started a hot new craze among her cohorts at the Chimpanzee Wildlife Orphanage. An entirely new group of chimps at the refuge have started doing the same thing. We were really shocked that this had happened again, Jake Brooker, the psychologist and great apes researcher at Durham University over in England, said he was really shocked. We were even more shocked that they were doing their own spin on this by also inserting the grass and sticks in a different orifice. The chimps, he says, have been putting blades of grass and sticks into their ears and anuses and simply letting them dangle there for no apparent reason.
Other than fashion.
My first question was like, is there some sort of like medicinal thing that we can get? And he's like, nope, just totally to look cooler than the other apes.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It's crazy.
I think this is what, 3 or 4 weeks in a row now. We've had a chimpanzee, a gorilla, or some kind of primate story.
Yeah. I mean, we're on a roll
Big
here.
news out there in the primate world.
Right.
A lot going on.
What else is going on here?
I got one. You ready? This is a kind of a wild one. You want me to shoot for the stars first, or kind of ease into it?
I like shooting for the
Yeah,
stars.
hit us
Let's
with
go.
it.
Let's go with it.
Human body parts mistakenly sent to a Hopkinsville woman's home.
Ooh.
Whoa.
The woman said she was supposed to be receiving the medicine she ordered on the line. All right, let's dive into this.
What site is she ordering these medicines?
Let's see if we can figure that out. Hopkinsville, Kentucky, from WSMV News Channel, whatever it was. A Kentucky woman expecting medicine in the mail received a much different package on Wednesday night. According to the Christian County coroner, Scott Daniel, the woman opened the package and discovered arms and fingers instead of the medicine she had ordered online. The coroner reported that the mistake involved an airline company, a freight company, and a courier. The coroner responded to the woman's home and took the body parts to the morgue, where they would be given back to the courier responsible for delivering them to the correct location. Who's
It's
getting
like
the
it's like a
correct-
mob deal here, man.
Isn't
It's
this
got to
great?
be,
It's
right?
like, yeah, don't mess with us, or this is going to happen to you.
Jeez.
Body parts are often shipped for use during transplants or for research, but these body parts were being used for what these body parts were being used for is unknown, according to the coroner.
Holy
I
crap.
think that's it. That's the end of the story. So take it as you want.
Arms and
Fingers.
Fingers.
That-
I wonder if the
that
fingers
just-
belong to the arms.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're getting an arm transplant, it's just getting shipped via UPS.
That's why. I wonder who, like.
But you got to keep this stuff in ice. don't you?
Freeze, yeah. Like it's got to be the person actually that put the package on the doorstep. I wonder if he knew, like, kind of. He's like, "There's some arms in there, man."
Yeah, that's some wild stuff. That one popped up after the show last Thursday.
Unbelievable.
Because that would have been great for last Thursday too. But got a couple more as well. This one, it's titled "Lottery Winner Hospitalized After Nonstop Partying for 3 Months." A man in the UK won over $1 million from a scratch-up, but ended up in the hospital after months of nonstop partying. Doctors discovered a blood clot in his lungs following weeks of wild nights and heavy drinking. This serves as a powerful reminder that the party lifestyle can take a serious toll if you don't pace yourself. Balance is key for the long haul. If you won the jackpot, what would be the first thing you would do? That's the whole story.
Wow.
Moral of that story is if you win a bunch of money, don't just go binge partying, otherwise you're going to get sick. But I think that's probably a fairly common.
Invest it with Jay
assumption.
Chapman.
What's that?
Yeah,
Invest it with Jay Chapman.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a much better idea.
much better plans than getting yourself in a hospital.
imagine.
Sickness, yeah.
For sure. All right, this is kind of just a cool, interesting one. Not necessarily, monkeys shoving grass up their butt or or body parts being shipped. Compton College JUCO
Okay.
football team features 45-year-old former Compton mayoral candidate wide receiver Lamar Willis, his son Josiah Willis, and the 50-year-old defensive end linebacker Orson Villalobos are playing on the same team. Compton, I don't know whether this is part of it. Compton Community College forfeited their last 2 games to end the season at 0-10 with a scoring margin of 480 to 12. That's a tough go, but it's kind of a cool story to have a father-son duo at and a 50-year-old linebacker. But maybe that's why they, gave up so many points. 480. That is.
All right. So did they score 2 touchdowns and miss both extra points, or did they kick?
I'm gonna guess 4 field goals. But that's
Never got in the end zone.
But that's just a guess.
Yeah.
I meant to say this one last week. You guys have probably seen this one. Strange but true. There have been 2 World Series games to ever go to 18 innings, and Brad Paisley sung the national anthem at both of those games. One was the 2018 World Series Game 3, where the Dodgers won 3-2 in 18 innings, and then obviously Game 3 of the 2025 World Series. He sang at both of those, which is just, hard to believe that, or that's seriously ironic. No doubt about it. All right, let me pull up some of my Facebook ones. Jay, do you have any more? I know one is 100% better than you've had.
I was just thinking of some good old Brad Paisley songs. He hadn't come out.
You haven't
with
brought
any
the
good
guitar in yet on the podcast. I'm pretty
You
disappointed.
haven't asked.
Well, bring in the guitar next Thursday. I've asked now officially.
Okay.
All right, this is just another kind of coincidental thing. I don't know if you guys saw the Jaden Daniels dislocated elbow this past weekend. Absolutely brutal. I don't know if you guys remember when Robert Griffin III had that brutal injury as well. Some kind of spooky coincidences between these two. Jaden Daniels and Robin Griffin III both suffered gruesome injuries, and they shared a lot of things in common. Both were the number 2 pick in the draft, drafted by the same team. Both were injured on the same field. Both were injured around the 4-yard line. Both were injured on 2nd down in the 4th quarter. Both were injured playing the Seattle Seahawks.
God.
The injuries certainly were different, though. RG3 tore his ACL and LCL, and it was a playoff game. Jaden Daniels dislocated his elbow in Week 9 of the regular season. But seeing Daniels' injury almost 13 years after Robert Griffin's III had to give Commanders fans some nightmares. So just the fact that it's, that coincidental is pretty crazy.
Phew.
Did you get one?
No, I'm still looking. It takes me an hour and a half to watch 60 minutes. Give me a few minutes.
I thought it was read 60 minutes or watch. Watch because 60 minutes is a show.
I do like 60 minutes, though. So
Do you watch it?
I do.
Do you
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. Yeah. You
There's
don't
still
watch
one
it?
of
I
y'all
don't
left.
consume a lot of just commercial TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's my 1 hour where I can just kind of current event it.
Or your
Yeah,
hour and
for
a
the
half.
Hour and a half for you, right?
Or, yeah, hour and a half.
To digest
That-
it, right?
right,
Yeah.
right.
What's
All
going
right,
on.
here's the one I was talking about before the show. Title of this one is 166 people chose to be buried in space, but their rocket crashed in the Pacific Ocean, bringing them back to Earth instead. All right, the details on that. In May 2024, 166 people, including scientists, space enthusiasts, and fans of science fiction, had chosen to make their final journey beyond Earth. Their cremated remains were loaded aboard a Celestis Memorial spacecraft designed to orbit the planet before venturing into deep space. But tragedy struck shortly after the launch aboard United Launch Alliance's Vulcan Centaur rocket. There's a name. They could have just called it the ULAVC rocket, or I can't pronounce that. The spacecraft failed to complete the intended trajectory. Instead, reaching the stars, it re-entered the Earth's atmosphere and crashed in the Pacific Ocean. Among the remains were symbolic capsules representing pioneers and dreamers who wanted to rest among the stars. Families watched from Earth as what was meant to be an internal space memorial became a heartbreaking ocean burial instead. The big question is, do they get their money back?
No kidding. What would you do? Very first thing you would do up in space?
But I'm ashes. So what can I do?
If you were in space.
Or are you just talking about in
Yeah,
general?
just in general. If you got I don't know.
I think the floating part
Yeah,
would
the
be
floating
pretty
part
cool.
would be cool.
Yeah.
Trying to, making the liquids stay together, like, how they do the pouches and they, try to
Yeah.
grab them. I think the non-gravity stuff would be something I would embrace first for sure.
Yeah.
Have you what is that movie with Mel Gibson and Sandra Bullock? where they're kind of, you know, but he's out there on his like this little deal. It's sort of obviously tied to the. That would be kind of cool if you could do that. I don't know that they would let you, but
Didn't
yeah,
he eventually break away?
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is it? Gravity.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, but that was like a cool visual. But this right here gave me vibes of the Ocean Gate deal.
Oh, yeah,
like he's
yeah.
like going to the Titanic and like this basically like this aluminum drum.
That never
just
passed a
crazy.
single safety test.
It just like crushed all the. I mean, it's not funny, but like I mean, it's kind of it's really tragic, but it's the same idea, right? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, have you seen that documentary on
Yes.
Netflix? It's that
It's
Stockton guy was something else.
The
man.
negligence was just off the charts. And, you know, just to, you know, do something like that, you know, obviously he knew but he was putting a lot of other people in danger as well. That's the issue I kind of had with it. You know, he's the one that kept pushing it back down there and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then but he's at the same time the negligence was so bizarre because he's instilling confidence because he's going in it too.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
would
you
think,
would
like,
think, yeah, that kind of gives you that false sense of
yeah,
security.
surely he wouldn't go in it if he knew this thing was going to get crushed at the
Or he
bottom.
was just, you know, he wanted, maybe he was ready to, you know, that was his goal to, like, these people wanted to be in outer space,
yeah.
but it didn't end up being that way.
Yeah,
Ironically, they ended up in the ocean too.
This is not funny because of the severity of the issue, but I did see like a little graph. It was like one of those kind of meme-ish deals. It was so funny. It was like deaths at the Titanic site, like in 19 whatever. It was like this, and then it was like in 24. I thought, holy cow, man! 5 more people, you know, perished right there. All those years later, it's crazy.
It would be cool to see the Titanic, though.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
Fun fact: my dad was a fraternity brother with Bob Ballard.
Wow.
Not that I don't think they still stay in touch, but just a little fun fact there. He always tells me about that. He's like, yeah, my fraternity brother was, you know, Bob Ballard, and he's the one that discovered the Titanic and the ocean floor.
Crazy.
I saw something earlier this week talking about never give up on anything. Think about they said something about think about the lobsters that were in the fish tank. You know, hey,
On
never
the
give up.
Titanic?
Yeah,
Is that what you mean?
they made it. They
Yeah,
made
they're
it to
cool.
the
They're
ocean.
just hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, they're still.
There was a good moral to that story.
It just hit me all of
What
a
it
sudden.
is.
It was just like, I don't know. It's like the red lobsters in the tank on the Titanic are like, oh, we're pretty much history. Like, we're going to be eaten, you know, and then all of a sudden
They're free.
they're
Yeah.
free.
Their claws are still taped together though.
Yeah. They just gotta-
Oh, that's right. Dang, you keep ruining
I'm
the
sorry,
story.
dude. I'm sorry. I'm just joking.
Did they have lobsters on the Titanic? Well, that's the real question. I just don't see you walking through those nice doors and then
like
right to your
lobsters,
left
you
is a
think?
lobster tank.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, like live lobsters, like, you know, for at a restaurant, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I know what
no,
you're
no.
talking about. I'm just questioning if there was actually live lobsters on the Titanic.
Verifiable story.
It could, yeah, I don't know.
No, it's just
Y'all
a-
are ruining
No,
it.
no,
Never
it's
mind.
just a good keep moving forward kind of story. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
look on the bright side.
Yeah, that had a
Yep.
very positive message that we kind of ruined for you. But, you
Still
know, if you
getting-
just keep moving forward, you end up on the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean with your claws taped. That's the real story.
It's not going to work out perfect, but some semblance
You're
of
not
better.
dead.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. It's too funny.
With some realists here, I guess.
No, I know.
Yeah,
Too much
I
logic to
tried.
go through
I
it.
tried.
No, it was good. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Good.
the.
Here, you read that one because I'm laughing too much.
Okay, I got you.
Oh boy.
What we got here?
It's an interesting one.
I feel like I'm getting staged.
you're
here.
not. It's
yeah,
not
you're
bad
just like,
at all.
yeah.
You've already talked about monkeys with grass in their
Yeah.
butt.
that
Okay,
was-
so we're
This
good
is actually
now.
just more of a sciencey kind of wild one.
What if we didn't come from Earth at all? Scientists examining a 2 billion year old meteorite have found DNA-like patterns strikingly similar to human sequences, a discovery that could rewrite our understanding of where life began. If verified, it supports the mind-blowing idea that life may have arrived on Earth from space, carried here by ancient meteorites billions of years ago. This theory, called panspermia, suggests that we might not be Earth's first inhabitants, just cosmic travelers who settled and evolved here. It's a humbling reminder that the universe might be more connected than we ever imagined, and that the story of humanity could have started among the stars. References are NASA, Scientific American, and Nature Journal.
There you go. Way
Now-
to bring the heat, Jay.
That's like my grandfather. It's so funny. My grandfather worked for NASA when we landed on the moon in '69, and if you ever asked him,
Yeah. Right.
if you ever asked him, if aliens existed, he would not talk about it.
Well, so and this is gives credence to the lizard folks that are here too, right?
Yep.
Could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes it. Well, that's a whole
Oh.
separate issue.
Oh.
I mean, we could do a whole podcast
Yeah.
about conspiracy
I
theories.
went into I don't say a dark place with that for like a long time. But when I was in like, when I was playing, I was in these hotels for like long periods of time or on the road. I just looked into it and I was convinced that there was some funniness surrounding.
There's a lot of little tidbits with that whole thing that you kind of question. And with everything else that's kind of come out, you now know that what has been hidden from us for so long, because we're just taught to believe what stuff gets said and pushed to us. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother
Yes.
show.
And why haven't we been back? That's like, let's go back or maybe we never been.
Yeah, you can't go
Yeah,
back
anyway.
to somewhere you never been.
Yeah.
How can I have some more of
You're
nothing?
just going there for the first
Very
time.
philosophical.
Small.
That should be on a T-shirt. You can't go back to where you've never been. Moon landing 1969. There you go.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
This is great.
You
Yeah.
sell it to a lot of people, I'm sure.
No.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yes.
Hot item.
Wind in outer space. Is it there or is it not?
I would have loved to have been in 1969. What was that? Woodstock, NASA
My dad
happened.
graduated high school in 1969.
See, man, he was
Hell of a
living
time to be
oh,
alive.
Pete,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, peace, man, peace.
It was legit. That was what a time. And bell bottoms.
Oh yeah.
You can
Oh,
pretty much
yeah.
get away with anything.
Now it's skinny jeans.
Yeah, they have an excessively hard time solving murders back in those times, though, right? There's a lot of those, like Son of Sam and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just kind of operated with impunity for like, I think ever, right? I don't know that they were caught any of those. What was the Zodiac?
Yep. The Zodiac
yeah.
Killer. Yep.
Mhm.
Still just only speculations around who that was.
All inspired by the one and only Ed Gein.
Have you seen that movie Monsters or whatever?
Yep.
Or the show that I haven't
Yep.
watched. I haven't brought myself to watch it yet, but that was.
It's not. I mean, it's if you can get past what's actually happening, it's a pretty interesting documentary. But you have to be able to get past what he's doing.
Leatherface.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep,
okay.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that he was kind of the one that inspired the movie Psycho with Alfred Hitchcock. It kind of had talks. I mean, I'm sure there's some liberties that they took doing it that weren't 100% true, but I think that little part of it is. So I mean, it's very interesting. Obviously, it's completely crazy and sick and very.
It's
gory.
true.
Yeah.
It's a true story.
It's based on a true story. It's like Jay and Rudy. You always thought Rudy would say a factual representation of what happened.
God,
I broke his heart a couple years ago.
sure did. He
Rudy
did get
didn't
carried.
sack the quarterback.
I don't know. Did he?
I don't think he did. If
I
you
thought he
start-
did.
If you start doing some
Yeah.
research.
Break my heart, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was not true.
I don't think the whole stadium chanted Rudy either.
Oh.
Do some research.
So
That
sad.
picture of them carrying him off the field is real.
There you
It's
go.
like,
I mean, you
it's
can
like
tell-
wrestling to me.
You can tell yourself anything is real.
But look, when the dad finally sees Rudy come out onto the field, that's the moment where you start tearing up, right?
And I think
mean,
that's he actually did play, I think, but they just took the liberties of him sacking the
sack,
quarterback
yeah,
and then
yeah, yeah.
getting carried out of the stadium on everybody's arm.
is that when y'all cry?
It's an emotional part. I mean,
I haven't seen the movie in a very long time, but I did, to your point, think that all of the was accurate. That he got in and made a sack. And
He ruins it for me every time.
Yeah.
yeah.
man, I
I'm not
actually,
trying to. I'm
No,
just,
you-
trying to be a realist.
the
Don't believe
naivety
everything
is
you see on
actually
TV
nice.
or read on the internet.
Yeah, that's true.
Based on a true story.
It actually turns out that true stories don't sell as well as
Yeah, you gotta
Dramatized,
add
yeah.
some stuff
Yeah,
to it
right,
to make
yeah.
it just a little bit more exciting.
Yeah.
All right, couple games coming up. Actually, we'll recap yesterday's games. As I already mentioned, Chipley lost in the rural. Say it, Jay. Rural state championship final. 3-2 against Branford. Don't ask me where Branford is. On the boys soccer side of things, Lincoln beat Mosley 4-1. Boys soccer, North Bay Haven beat Destin 4-1. Girls soccer, Bay beat Freeport 3-1. You've got some games coming up tonight as well. You've got Pensacola traveling to Gavlac Stadium to play the Arnold Marlins. Shout out to Emma Krelling. She made 20 saves in the game earlier this week in a 1-1 tie. I believe that was against Choctaw. You've also got Mosley traveling to Lincoln. A lot of former UA soccer players from last year's middle school team are now on Mosley, and they're doing fantastic. Mosley's 1-0. Lincoln has a tie so far. Tomorrow, as we talked to Coach Jonah Hammond a couple weeks ago when we had Jason Hedden in here, North Bay Haven and Arnold opens their 2025 sixth campaign, trying to go for the three-peat in the state championship against a tough North Bay Haven Academy team. They're 1-0 so far on the year. That's tomorrow night. Get out there and watch that one. That's going to be a great soccer game. I'm looking forward to going and checking that out as well. Gentlemen, always a pleasure to have you both on the show. As everybody knows, our podcast will be posted in its entirety tomorrow. Obviously, today's live was on our Facebook page and our YouTube page. Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts, the Inside Drive podcast episode 23 will be posted tomorrow. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Bundle up early next week. It's certainly going to get cold. Y'all take care. We'll see you next Tuesday.